There are individuals who seem to be inherently lucky, whether it's by surviving near-death experiences, demonstrating impressive feats, or simply being in the right place at the right time. Fortunate souls, I must say. This driver showed quick thinking by getting out of his vehicle before it flipped over, turning his up into his down and his down into his up. This guy was quite the show-off. Although the prank was intended to be harmless, they ended up taking him for a magic carpet ride. This reckless driver nearly made the skateboarder's final ride come to an end. This small child must have experienced a few terrifying moments. The act depicted here doesn't seem to align with the traditional concept of making a house call. The driver must have depleted his entire 10-year supply of luck by avoiding this wreckage that could have caused severe harm. The fact that the lady left the vehicle before this Toyota became her ticket to heaven was definitely lucky. If you see a light at the end of the tunnel, it's probably a good idea to run. A truck driver triggered a chain reaction of events, causing motorbikes, pedestrians, and cargo to topple over in a domino effect. I hope the husband received a cool gift from the baseball player. This fall could easily be considered one of the worst, especially given the location where the person tripped and fell. The validity of this technique is unknown, but it's concerning to see the potential harm to his toes. The impact was so intense that he snapped something. First the tree, then the power in the neighborhood. I've heard of a raging bull, but have you ever heard of a flying horse? Also, am I the only one who thinks this guy attempted to take this kid along with him? Make this an official sport in the Summer Olympics. Think water polo with trick shots. In just 4 seconds, this went from a cool trick to a foolish move to a near miss. This driver must have some impressive math skills as they perfectly navigated all the right angles to make that turn. This Segway seemed to have had enough of its rider and decided to continue on its own. You always have to be careful in your neighborhood, as you never know when a tree may decide to take a trip and visit you in the near future. This bartender may have a hard time replicating this trick, but he definitely deserves a praise for pulling it off. Little does everyone know, this is a secret trick called a little help from my friend. The bus passengers were fortunate that their driver was skilled in extreme sports. This man almost dozed off into a deep sleep, and the man in the white shirt didn't appear interested in assisting him. In my opinion, the pedestrian may have been responsible for this incident, as the road was spacious, and considering the size of the truck, they could have waited to cross. We all know that not all heroes wear capes. These men are gravely engaged in a rescue mission to save an animal stranded in rapidly moving water. This scene looks like it was pulled straight out of the Fast and Furious franchise if I didn't know any better. Small snowballs can trigger big avalanches, so it's important to be cautious. This person seems to have the luck of the gods to avoid colliding with the white car without even noticing it. Perhaps Marvel could draw inspiration from this incident to create a new superhero. Any ideas? It seems like this person may have regretted their decision to eat spicy food before returning to work. The back end of this 18-wheeler seemed to have had a mind of its own and attempted to embark on a solo mission. This building seemed to be not so subtly suggesting to this person to leave the area. The motorcyclist must have been in a rush as he lifted his heavy motorcycle all by himself. The check was brought to you by whatever they were putting in the back of that truck. This drive seemed to defy a lot of laws of physics and gravity, but I could be wrong. This reporter seemed to be extremely enthusiastic about her assignment, but it almost ended up being her final one.